series. This is the Wandering Map, Connect Your Life Experience to Your Career Goals. So we have a great presentation by Dr. Carolyn Meeker and Adriana Medina in the Career Talent and Development Office. I will let you know this series is being recorded, so we will send that out to you later, as well as some PowerPoints as well. And also I will be putting a survey up towards the end, so if you could please fill that out, we'd appreciate it. We have other life skill series coming up, so I will include those as well. And I guess we're ready to get started. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Ivy. So we're ready to start recording?
Yep, it's already set.
Excellent, thank you so much. Hi everyone, so yes, as Ivy introduced, Adriana and I are going to facilitate this session. We have a PowerPoint that we will share, and again, we can also send the PowerPoint with the recording if you like. So before we get started, we'll do some intros and all that. Does anyone have any questions right now? Is everyone able to, if you want to share your screen, you can share your video? Does everyone know if you want to be able to speak up? Are you able to unmute yourself? Does anyone need that check? Okay, then I will start. Everyone's good? Okay, then I will start sharing my screen. Can you all see it?
I see it. Does everybody else? Good. Yeah, they do.
Excellent. Okay, so we have some ground rules just for the sake of our, for going through this. We do want to hear you if you want to share something, an anecdote, you have a question, but unless you are speaking, you want to talk, please keep yourself muted. For camera, we love to see faces and we like to see the work if everyone is comfortable sharing your work, but you don't have to. So if you want to be here and something comes up and you're just more comfortable not sharing your camera, that's okay also. If you have any questions or thoughts, you can certainly share them over the mic or drop them in the comments, and feel free to chat privately with either me or Adri. If you prefer that we post a question or a thought for you, if you're a little bit more shy maybe. Just note that if one of us is talking, we probably won't be checking the chat at that time. So if you have a question and I'm speaking, maybe you want to send that to Adri. And then if you are posting on social media, feel free to tag us because we often tie our events into our Instagram. Let's see. So we want to make sure that you all have some resources. So if you want to do this by hand, certainly you can do your wandering map, free flow, hand. You'll need at least one piece of paper, or if you're like me and a bit of a perfectionist, you may want more than one piece of paper, and at least 3 different colors of markers, pens, crayons, whatever you're using. If you prefer creating things digitally, then some people will use Canva or PowerPoint slides to actually create their maps. So you can be creative with the shapes and the graphics and then try to use at least 3 different colors. So while we're making sure that everyone gets your materials, we'll do a quick introduction. So my name's Carolyn Meeker. I'm a career specialist in career and talent development. Usually I work at our Biscayne Bay campus office. Obviously right now everyone's working remote, so I'm up here in Boynton Beach. So I'll see any major. With the exception of College of Business and Hospitality Tourism, they have their own career office. So I usually don't see those majors. Adri, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm a career advisor at the main MMC campus, and that's where you can usually find me. But right now, again, just like Carolyn, I'm going to be online, and I also see all majors. And always happy to see everybody come in. I am going to be working by hand today. So I've got my 3 colors and my black pen and a sketchbook because I have a lot of stationery. Carolyn, are you going to be working digitally?
Yeah, no, I'll be working by hand, but I'm in the middle of one. So, and I am that perfectionist that like, I don't like things that, oh, it looks like a mess and I can't quite read it. So I'm going to try to balance that OCD tendency that I have with, it should be free flowing. It's creative, right? So yeah, we want to know here, who is going to be drawing by hand?
You can raise your hands or you can put a little emoji on your screen.
Okay, is anyone going to be creating one digitally?
I see one little person.
I love the idea of it digitally, but it takes me so long to like do things through PowerPoint or Canva that I'm like, oh, let me just free flow it by hand. Okay, so we want to know real quick, who has anyone here done completed a wandering map before? I see some no's. Has anyone created a wandering map? Has anyone done a vision board?
Yeah.
So we got a yes.
Yes to vision board on the chat.
Okay. Okay, so the vision board isn't exactly the same thing as a wandering map, right? As you'll see, a wandering map, this is an opportunity for us to explore our lives by putting our thoughts down on paper. So we'll guide you through this kind of conversation with yourself, right? So you're making connections and you're uncovering themes that are present throughout your life. And it can be useful in revealing your natural strengths and your mindsets, what's important to you, what people will have different things that show up on their wandering map. So here's a couple of examples. Adri, do you want to share?
Yeah, so you'll see that some of them are messier than others and some of them have color and some of them don't. We definitely suggest color because it's more easy on the eyes to make those connections that we're trying to make. But you'll see our colleague Andrea on the top right. She's very neat. I'm pretty sure she did that on her first try. Yours does not have to look like that, but you can maybe after you've done a messier one, polish it up, and yeah, like Carolyn's going to be doing to get your ideas in order. But it can look like any of these and it can look different as well. It's just the basic concept of putting some ideas down and connecting them.
And if anyone has used mind maps, right, it's the same idea. It's you're getting the ideas out here and you're seeing connections and themes and then visualizing the information. So here's an example. We found a couple on through using PowerPoint. So this is from Slides Go. So they said you can use this information, you can use the slides, but you just have to cite them, right? So if any of you are interested in seeing PowerPoint, they have a whole bunch of slides with different templates for how to use PowerPoint for mind mapping and wandering maps. So these are just two examples of what it could look like. So are we ready to get started? One of the things that we do want to say is, so we have three parts to like, there's three general instructions as we go through this. And if you really like music, you want to hear something in the background, please play music for yourself, not for everyone else, but you can have it in the background, right? Whatever you need to do to set your room, to really be kind of comfortable and get you in the zone for really thinking about these questions that will guide you through. So we want you to start with brainstorming, right? So choose one color that you want to write with, either handwriting or digitally for your text, right? So this will be the text. So write down interesting and significant events, experiences, or people from your life. And don't second guess yourself. If it has meaning to you, put it on your paper. So you're thinking about different events, experiences, people that are important or interesting, significant to your life. And now some people will draw pictures, but whatever makes sense to you that like you really understand, you can try to label them with one or two words, such as summer camp. Or for me, it could be first job. You know, think about the things that are really important for you. And then as you go through, you want to really, we're going to take some time with this. So we want to go through the instructions, but then we're going to give you some time where you can either have some music in your background or you can have quiet time and just think. So we want you to draw circles or rectangles, something around each of your entries so that you can see it as a distinct entry, thought, event. And then try to fill the entire page. So don't overthink, don't limit yourself. There's no judgment. We will see the themes later on. So don't feel like you have to have certain things in a certain location or with a certain amount of, image or font style or anything like that. So we'll give you, a minute and then we'll read out loud some of these questions. Does anyone have any questions right now? Or is anyone struggling to get started? For sure, yes. You'll have a good 5 minutes for this.
Yeah, you'll have some time. We're just going to wait a minute before we read out some questions so you can start rewriting some ideas. And after we read out some questions, then you'll have about 5 minutes.
Oh, I need paper already. I'll be right back.
If anybody wants to use their mics or the chat to ask any questions related to this or to anything CTD related, or if you just have some thoughts you want to tell the room, we can totally do that.
Okay, so some of the questions that people might find helpful is thinking about unique jobs that you've had or unique classes. Was there anything that really struck you as this is really cool or fascinating? Did you have any summer experiences that were really memorable, that really stand out? That time, maybe you worked at summer camp, or maybe you volunteered somewhere. And think about what options do you enjoy using, or objects? Do you enjoy using computers, musical instruments? Do you like to read? Do you like to use your skateboard, electric motorcycle, scooter? And who are the people who have been influential in your life? So these are just some of the questions you can think about and really brainstorm. Think about, whether it's the first time you did something, whether it's something that, wow, you wish you could do it again. Something that you're like, it was so awesome, and you do it again and again. And try not to judge. Try not to say, no, that's a stupid idea. Put it on there. You're welcome, Wenju.
Another thought that comes to mind is don't also feel obligated to list things just because you listed some other things. For example, if I list my mom, I don't have to feel obligated to list my dad if that's not what comes to mind at the moment and that's not where your thoughts are going. So don't let that distract you.
Do folks need more time? How's everyone doing?
Maybe they're concentrating.
Okay, you got it. You got 2 more minutes. Does anyone need more time?
Let's check the chat. Okay, I think that we're okay.
Okay. So Adri, do you want to walk us through part 2?
Yeah. Do you have the slide?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Actually, you know what?
Oh,
We have a whole slew.
we missed this.
Yep. So we will give it another minute for this. So think about helping your neighbors move in. These are some prompts to get you started. So helping your neighbors move in, taking a great class, tutoring a child, designing a website, acting in a school play. Those are some examples of things that may have been on your wandering map. So achievements, if you like adventure or taking risks, if you really like creative works, maybe there's a culture or family heritage that you're really involved in, or favorite quotes or song lyrics. Think about reading or writing, sporting events, or even intramural sports, either going to or playing, vacations that you've had. So these are a lot of the different things that perhaps some of you have come up with, but if anything here strikes you, you can add some of this stuff to your wandering map. One of the things that we saw in here was family illness or a challenge, parents' divorce. Certainly these are things that can go onto your wandering map. However, one of the things that I strive for, a lot of people strive for if they're really doing the visioning, is trying to find the positive in it. So try not to dwell on the negative aspects of something. But did you learn something from it? Did it have an impact on you and it put you in a certain direction? So whether one of the things on here is, you know, a mentor, have you been a mentor? Have you had a mentor? Your academic major or minor, like, do you remember like what really got you inspired to either choose your major or to change your major?
So I'll show my progress so far.
Okay.
It looks like this. Ooh.
Wow.
Let's just look in there. I made little boxes. And I really didn't limit anything. Just the first thing that came to mind, I just put it down. So let's see what came out of that.
That's cool. Okay. Does anyone else want to share?
I think someone's trying to share.
Wenshu?
Wenshu's trying to share. Ooh, look at that.
Oh, look at that. Hold on. Let me stop sharing, actually.
That looks great.
Absolutely.
There's different shapes in there and everything already.
Is anyone using, doing a digital one, PowerPoint, Canva, anything where you want to share your screen?
Thank you for sharing, Wenju.
Yeah. I think Wenju, mine's more like that. It's a lot of words and content. It'll be interesting to see what that looks like at the end. Okay. So part 2. Here you are, Adri.
Okay, so now that there are experiences, events, and people that you have been impactful throughout your life, you want to select a different color. So I just did black to start mine, so you can choose a different color than the one you wrote those down with. And you're going to identify connections between these experiences and draw lines on your map to visually connect these categories. Another alternative that you can do, which I kind of show with the images, you can just color code them. Also, if you want to use more colors than just one, you can like add the color that you want to categorize with, if that helps you. Oh, did I cover some of this question? Carolyn, I might have covered some of the first question with my image.
It's okay. Just think about, are there any categories that you weren't expecting to see?
There you go. Carolyn has this memorized already. So are there any patterns, and does one category have a lot more items than some other ones? So yeah, let's take some time to do that and to make some connections between the different items on your map right now. The way I think about this, Carolyn, I don't know if this works for you, but it's sort of like spices on a spice rack. Like I don't put my salt where my sugary stuff is. So I keep my sugar and my chocolate and my honey on one side, and like pepper and salt and like Himalayan salt rock on another side. So that's how I think about it.
Yeah. So for me, I was trying to think of what's like a visual for this, right? Other than PowerPoint. And I kind of see it as like a tree. So like I'm the trunk and then I have all these branches, and sometimes those branches like get tangled up. But you can clearly see that there are some distinct like themes or flows or branches. And then sometimes they intertwine. But my wandering map, which I draw, does not look nearly as clear as it does in my head. So how is everyone doing with this? Are you able to identify connections?
If this part is a little bit harder, we can chat about it and talk it out. Feel free to share any questions in the chat if that's more comfortable for you.
Does anyone need more time? Are we still working on this?
Make a little, I saw somebody nod. Yeah, we need more time.
A little more time. Okay. Me too, because I just realized one of the pens I got was actually black, and I thought it was purple.
So I'm finding that some things belong to more than one category. So I'm making use of different colors or different types of lines to denote those interconnections. So if one of my boxes is connected to two separate boxes, I use different types of lines for each one of those.
Wenju, I see this, that you don't know if you're making the connections right. That's okay if you don't. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm not drawing lines yet between all the different connections. I'm more like with the different colors. I'm still like choosing, okay, this one over here is family. And so for sure, I see that as red. And this one over here is extended family. So for me, I'm putting those, okay, those are both family. So I'm putting those in the same color and I see a connection there. But if you don't do it right, that's okay.
We've got something in the chat. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I definitely started feeling like I was messing up my lines, and then I decided, you know what? After I finish drawing all my lines, I'll find something else out. Gotta trust the process.
Well, I also realized that I should have grabbed more colors. So instead, I'm like shading things, like little squiggle means it should.
Problem, Carolyn. I don't know what you're talking about.
And I have tons of colors, but they're on the other side of the room.
It's just not a problem I'm acquainted with.
Is anyone else running into that problem where you just ran out of colors? Nope. Jeanette, you're with me? You feel that? Or do you have a question, Jeanette, or were you just responding?
Carolyn, we just had somebody new join in. Do you think that? Yeah, Marcus just came in.
Okay.
We can give him a quick run through.
Yeah, hold on one sec. Wenju, that's okay. If you're using the same color, it's not a problem. You can go over different colors later if you want, or you might be someone like me who ends up doing it over again on a new sheet of paper because you're a little OCD. So Marcus, welcome to my mess. No, just kidding. Welcome to the Wandering Map. Marcus, have you done, or Marcus Malik, have you done a Wandering Map before?
No, I've never done a Wandering Map.
Okay, so well, welcome. I think quite a few people here haven't done it before, including Adri, one of the presenters. So we are going through, we're in the middle stage right now, so we won't be able to go through everything and give you the same amount of time. But what we have done, I'll walk through here, is if you're using, it looks like you're using maybe pen and paper, have at least 3 different colors of writing instruments, pens, crayons, markers. I realized that I wish I had more than 3. But so you're going to take some time and you're going to choose one color right now and then write down interesting or significant events, experiences, people that you can recall throughout your life. Like, and don't second guess. Don't say, oh no, that person wasn't as important as so-and-so, right? Just put these things, these people, these experiences down on paper. And then try to, particularly if you're you like to see words, a lot of us find it really helpful to write words for them, such as summer camp. For me, I ended up putting, I don't want to cheat and get ahead of us, but a little bit like all of my immediate family members, their names are on my paper, right? And so you can do whatever, again, the events, experiences, people that are important to you throughout your life, put them on the piece of paper, and then label them, whether it might be summer camp, first job, you know, changed major, whatever it might be. And then you want to draw circles or rectangles around the entries to keep them separate from each other so that you can very, very clearly see this is, you know, my first job. This is, you know, my mom. And then you fill the paper. So don't feel like you need to be, you know, really constricted, that we want this to be a map that goes the full room, the full like length of your page. So some of the questions that we asked were, have you had a unique job or taken an unusual class? Did you have a memorable summer experience? What objects do you enjoy using? Computers, instruments, books? And then are there people who have been influential in your life? And then the next slide is just a whole bunch of other ideas, vacations, volunteer activities, internships or jobs that you've had, acting, performing in a play or a musical. So, and even we have some things here such as parents divorced, family illness, or a challenge. We do want this to be positive. So try to think if your parents divorced, like my parents were divorced, and if, you know, obviously it had a big impact on me, but I think about, is there something positive that came from it, right? You know.
That's cool.
Yeah, it really can be, especially for folks who are visual. I wish I was more creative and I could draw pictures, but it's all words. My map is all words. For example, I think my parents' divorce in itself wasn't a happy thing, but my stepmom is awesome, right? And so, and my step siblings are great. I was very fortunate. And so from a positive point of view, I have all of them on my map, even though they're actually in, you know, different locations on my map, some of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely gonna do mine again because I'm too organized. It's not helpful in this case, but
So Anna, you're doing, I don't know if I pronounced that right, Anna, you're doing it digitally? Or are you handwriting arrows? Yeah.
I'm using Canva.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm trying my best.
So one of the things I like about this activity is that you can try to use PowerPoint or Canva and get better at it. I'm just like, I can't. But and then, yeah, when you exactly be kind to yourself. Try not to be like, this sucks, I suck, like it's a mess.
it's not. It's actually just bright and colorful here. This is where I'm at right now.
For sure. Wenju, if you want at the end of this, we can show you Canva if you'd like. And Anna, if you're comfortable sharing your Canva document at the end, that would be great too. But you don't have to. So Marcus Malik, are you chatting with us? Because you're muted. Yeah, no pressure. No pressure at all. We know some people don't want to share, so that's fine. But if folks do want to share, we would love to see what you have.
What happened? My bad. My audio went out for a second.
Do you have something you want to share?
Oh, okay. I ain't write too much. I only have.
No, you don't have to, but.
I have my mom, I have Sergeant McDowell, I have Jeff McNamee. Well, McNam, I believe is his name. Yeah. So my mom, I put Love of My Life. For Sergeant McDowell, I put Change My Life. And for McNamee, I put Scholarship Coordinator and Cool Dude. So, yeah.
Okay. So, and you can certainly, we'll talk about categories real quick right now, and then we'll get more into the themes. Marcus Malik, and I think anyone else who joined us later, you want to use different colors to kind of identify some of the make the different connections. For example, maybe some are family, right? And you can draw lines to the different family members, or you can draw lines to, okay, this was something academic. However you see these connections. So just whether that can be, actually, let me not give it away. But you take a look at all these things that you put on your map using different colors and make connections. So I know we're going to go to the next stage just for the sake of time. So Marcus Malik, sorry, we don't have more time for that. So this is something that a lot of us have kind of already started doing, right? But we're looking at the themes. So using a final color, if you want, right? So if you've already you've only used 2 colors, unlike me, who ended up using different colors. Now connect the themes that you have together. So this is going to be the big connections, right? You can draw new lines. Hold on. Draw new lines for the themes, and then once you've identified them, write them on the paper. Ideally you have space, or on the back of the paper, or on the new lines that you've drawn. So now you're labeling the lines. So this would be, maybe you've had, actually, let me do the instructions before we give examples. So think about the meanings or what's in common between the different experiences that you've written down. Themes could be under a specific skill area, something common throughout your life. It could reveal what's important to you. And so you want to take a look at, like, one thing that I mentioned, I have a lot of family members listed on here. So when I thought about the people that were important to me, I had put, my mom, my dad, my sister, my step siblings, my stepmom, but then I also had my best friends. And then I had my extended family members as well. And so I definitely saw a theme. So even though they had already been, they already had like clear connections to each other, like now I'm seeing that throughout my map. My immediate family's over here, my extended family's over here, my best friends are down here. And so I'm thinking of these as people that are important to me. So I'm going to draw like kind of a circle connecting all of those. So once you've identified a few themes, you know, you can draw those lines and then categorize it, give that theme a title. For me, it would be people, or maybe it's extended family. Maybe I call it people I need to call more often.
So I'll give some more examples. I know that the difference between categories and themes can be weird to identify. So my categories are these connections that I've made in different colors, right? So you'll see, for example, this person has 3 different colors coming out of their box, right? That item, that person. So those are 3 different categories, right? And then you can see that they're tied to different things. So each of those colors is a category, but it can also become a theme once I analyze what those connections are. So if I connected this person to a place, right, and that place to other items, I have to see like what is the common theme, that's why we call it a theme, between all these things. But I've also connected her to my mom and one of my best friends. So these are all important people in my life. That's another theme. So one item can be part of several different themes. If they're all really separate from each other, like the easiest one for me to label right now will be important people in my life, and that's the blue one. So if they're all in different places and you can't really draw a circle around that category, you take that same color, right, and you write like important people in wherever place, because the color will guide you. And you can find like different ways to do this, right? But it's just interpreting the connections, basically. You've made the connections, now you're going to interpret the connections.
You're so much better at articulating that. Brings me back to my qualitative, study days.
Listen, there was a lot of qualitative research in my life. If I'm not able to explain this particular person would be very upset.
So we'll give you a couple more minutes, but to really think about it. And this is where we're going to ask if you see any threads throughout your life, if there are certain themes, patterns that you see. So take a couple minutes and really look at what you have in front of, look at what you have in front of you. So again, we're thinking about if there's a thread throughout your life, if there's a pattern in the jobs that you've had, if you noted jobs down there, and then what did you learn about pursuing a particular activity? When you think about some of the different themes, these are some that different people will mention, right? Perhaps adventure is a theme, right? Taking risks, frequent change, trying new things. For example, for me, a couple of the things that I saw is I wrote, okay, moving from California to New York, moving from New York to California, moving from California to Florida. So every time I move, that's a significant change for me. Creativity, right? Self-expression, ideas, art, music, beauty, drama, diversity, being around people from different cultures, appreciating differences, expertise, right? The knowledge, skills, or perhaps having authority, being recognized as an expert. Perhaps family came up as a theme for you, or friendships. Some people, harmony, joy, and for some people, health, right? Adri, you want to mention any of them?
Well, these are some really helpful themes because they're broad and they might fit into what you have on your paper. However, if they don't fit, you don't be afraid to create your own themes as well. For example, my really messy purple lines that go all over the place, I was like, what is all this stuff? So I thought about it for a second, and it's about personal story and creation. I like to write, and I'm a creative person. So all these places and road trips and folk music and YouTube, actors, fan communities, all those things are to me about personal story and creation. So it's about what it means to you, right? It's not about anything else. So if none of these broader themes fit what you have on your paper, you should definitely create your own themes.
So you can see independence, justice, leadership, right? These are just some of them. Power, spirituality, variety, wealth. And again, for me, something that's not on here, even though expertise is on here, for me, continuous learning is something that I have. And I listed different professional associations. I have some different certificate programs that I'm involved in right now. And so that's definitely a theme.
Does anybody want to share anything they're noticing in their patterns?
I guess I will, like, cause when you said there has to be an overarching theme, I had to think of a word that I wanted to use, and so I used lifelines, cause it's like I feel like those people that make life worth living, and I noticed like it does come back to family, like you were saying before. Family and those people really make it worth living more than like the material stuff.
So then for Adri, go.
I was just saying that's an awesome theme that you like put together there.
Yeah, and I love it. So that was a theme for me too, but perhaps not everyone has family as a theme. But yeah, Wenju loves that lifeline theme. Did anyone come up with any other themes? Friends, our chosen family.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to share? Think about what did you learn anything from this activity? What are you going to take away?
It also doesn't have to be like a super deep theme. Like, don't be intimidated by that. Because no, I know that like this is what was on my mind right now. But if I had done this like at 7 p.m., it was probably going to be like D&D and Tetris and and my theme was going to be you're a nerd. So don't be intimidated. It doesn't have to be like super like, intense either.
I can share.
Sure.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us, or do you want to share what you're doing?
I guess I'll share it so that I don't know who it was that hasn't used Canva, sorry.
Yep, you should be able to share.
Yeah, Janet, love for travel is definitely a thing if you notice a lot of different places.
So I had some trouble with the arrows, that's why they're symbols.
That looks amazing though.
But I noticed that a lot of these, and I put like the symbol around my mom because she was like important. But it's either being nurtured or nurturing, and the giver is a book about something like this. And like so yeah, when I volunteered for hospice, my mom, of course, and I spent some time in the hospital, so yeah. And then like eSoul and computer to me meant like progress. Just I'm not from the United States, so something like that, like I had to learn the language, and those are my themes.
That's great. I have a question for you. Did you move things around later on, or did these naturally fall into place where they're at?
I started here and kind of went this way. I did move gardening and Joe DiMaggio around just because the arrows were they were easier to do this way.
You were gonna have a nightmare like mine.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, these already go like, yeah, so I didn't want to make it super confusing or super hard, I should say, to put them together.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Does anyone else want to share something you found or actually show us your map?
So I'm still trying to kind of figure out a little bit like maybe what my theme is. I'm just gonna try to turn on my camera too. Okay, do you guys see me?
Yep.
Okay, so mine was kind of like more drawing based. So kind of like everything that I included here is everything that kind of helped me. So I study engineering, but I also study art at the same time. So everything here is kind of like what helped me stay on my path or like help me to grow and stuff. And like this past summer, I had an internship up with like Lockheed Martin. It's a company that also works with NASA. So I got to see a lot of cool like aerospace stuff. And I also did had the opportunity to kind of apply my art skills in that industry as well. So everything kind of tied up in here, but I'm not really sure if like my theme could be more career wise or artistic wise and stuff. But yeah, I don't know.
It's all connected, so it doesn't matter if it's career focused or not, because ultimately it's gonna affect your mindset going forward.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. That's great. And I can definitely see the career connections.
Thank you.
Through the internship and the courses and Elon Musk.
You drew all that right now?
Yeah.
Right? Amazing. I'd be like, I can do it with pictures and cutting out things. That's like vision boards. I can do the wandering map. That's awesome. And so part of this workshop as the life skills series is connecting these things to your career and to your professional development. So we can take a look at these themes and think, how do they connect to the decisions that you've made, or even the city that you want to live in or find your next job in? Does anyone else have anything you want to share? Or do you want to, yeah, skills for sure. Or do you want to talk about how anything that, whether it's a theme or something that you even just wrote down that maybe you don't know where it fits in your map, but it's on there. Do you want to talk about how that shapes your career or your academics?
If one of your themes is people you admire, maybe like look at the kinds of careers they have, right? And maybe that's part of their whole personality that you're looking up to. Or like Carolyn said, there's specific places, like if there's a lot of travel. Somebody mentioned there was a lot of travel in their map, like maybe you're looking for a career that allows you that freedom to travel. So everything's connected. It doesn't matter if it doesn't sound like it's a career map. Everything is a career map.
And I'll share mine for those of you who are like, oh, I feel like I didn't really get that far, because mine that I just did is a bit of a mess. Let's see. Can you all see? Oh,
It's a little dark.
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? It's not even showing. It's a bit of a mess, but you can see in a nutshell kind of how it looks.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even get to like circles or anything like that. I'm still at, oh, here's something in red, here's something in black, here's something that's shaded because I want to see things like the different themes in different colors. So it's okay if you didn't do it right. Right? The big thing is that we're brainstorming and we're really making some connections.
Yeah, and getting your ideas out on paper is really helpful, because once they're out of the soup of your brain, it's so much easier to handle them once they're outside.
So does anyone else, before we show the last slide, does anyone else have anything you want to share, or anything that when you leave here, you're like, oh, I really maybe want to give some more thought to that? Like, did something surprise you and you're like, wow, that's really important to me. Maybe I should dedicate more time or less.
Well, maybe I can comment on mine. Like I did, I go like the two main areas where I would like to follow for my professional life. So yeah, maybe I will start thinking about how to combine those two areas. So one is finance and the other one is business management. So yeah.
That's super interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about making new connections.
And so Orlando, thank you for sharing. And whether that's just in your head, either right now or at first, or sharing it with whether it's friends, family, faculty members, but also you can take some of these thoughts that you have right now and bring it to a mentor, or bring it, Orlando, if you're a business student, bring it to your career specialist through the College of Business and say, hey, you know, I really realized that I'm really passionate about both. Is there an intersection, like an easy intersection that you see? And maybe have that conversation with multiple people.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, thanks, for sure.
Great. Anyone else? Before we say goodbye, or Adri, anything you want to add?
No, I love this. I thought it was really cool, so I hope everybody else enjoyed the experience also.
Oh yes, so Ivy put so please fill out the Qualtrics. Ivy has a short survey, and I would love it if anyone if you could take a picture or send the attachment, if it's Canva, to us. We would love to see that. If you can email me and or Adriana. Are you okay with that, Adriana?
Yeah, totally. And you can also tag us, like we said before, on Instagram if you're really loving your map.
Yeah, we'd love to see it, and then let us know if we can use it as an example, because I think some of the examples that we've seen here would be excellent as, you know, helping people, like, look, these are students and, you know, alum for some of us have actually created these maps. So we want to thank you all for joining us. If anyone does have any questions, let us know. We're here for a couple more minutes. Well, Ivy, can we be here for a couple more minutes?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll be here for a little bit longer, and then you can email us if you have any questions that come up for you later.
Yeah, and thanks everyone for sharing.
Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you so much. It was a really interesting talk. I enjoyed it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Bye.